and welcome once again to another episode of Taktak Chat. Tonight, I would like to talk about myself, and I would like to talk about love at first sight. Love at first sight, not to a person, but to a city. And the city I'm talking about is Istanbul, the place where Europe meets Asia, the city of the Blue Mosque, of the Hagia Sophia, of the Bosporus, where ships have passed through from the Black Sea into the Sea of Marmaris to carry on to the Mediterranean, a real meeting point between East and West, a city with endless history in the past and for sure also in the future. In this magical place, one of our colleagues, Gizem Taktak, is working as a veterinary surgeon. So welcome to Taktak Chat, Gizem Taktak Bruhn. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Gizem. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I'm always interested. We had an interview not so long ago with Shane Ryan from Singapore, and he had, I think, 28 degrees or so. And at the time of recording, we are now at the end of January. I have about 0 degrees outside. How's the temperature? How's the weather in Istanbul tonight?
Now is 10 degrees outside. It's not so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit cold every time, so I'm wearing my heavy knit jacket, so it's okay.
Yeah, nearly alpine, so absolutely. So but I think a lot of people are surprised. They always think of Turkey to be a really hot country, but
in Istanbul, not so much. We have a winter, and I think almost like 2 weeks ago we have a snow. And everybody is afraid of the snow because it's a crowded city, Istanbul. So when it's snowing, it's a big deal because of the traffic, how the people will go to their work, because a lot of people living in this city. So I don't know, we can't see the beauty of the snow. We just afraid. The people afraid. I mean, not me, but yeah.
Yeah. We have the same thing in England. As soon as there's a little bit of snow, partially people have only summer tires and don't have winter tires, and then it's not easy to drive.
That's very bad.
Yes, yeah. Great. So Istanbul. I mean, how big is Istanbul now? 20 million or already more?
We have almost like 17 million people living in Istanbul. That's a lot. It's I think they say it officially 16 million, but I don't think so. It's more. It's growing city, and we have sort of some districts. It's so big, which I live in Ataşehir, is almost like 2 million people are living in here. And you can imagine, maybe you will ask me how many vets is here in my area. I can say we have like 10 veterinary clinic just in Ataşehir.
Clinics,
we have also hospitals, vet hospitals too. I mean, maybe 8 clinics and 2 big 24 hours open clinics in hospitals, I mean, next to my clinic too.
One should explain, there is the European part of Istanbul, and then there's the Asian part. And you're in the Asian
part, yes.
Istanbul.
That's true.
Yes, yeah. What I was surprised about was in the Asian part, when I was over there the last time, a lot of the cats are quite, what shall I say, quite chilled. I mean, there are a lot of cats out there, and a lot of people who look actually
they are taking care of the cats. Yes.
Cats.
So
is there a tradition in Istanbul that like in ancient Egypt, obviously they worship cats actually because they were keeping the vermin down. So they were catching mice, they were catching rats, and They were very, very well respected.
Mhm.
Is that the same thing in Istanbul?
I think I can say yes because mostly I worked in Asian part, but also I worked before I opened my clinic in the European part too. But I can say this: the people are taking care of the cats outside. For example, I have a lot of clients, uh, really good paid to me as a street cat. So it's the cats is not belong to them. I mean, just the street cats in their garden. I mean, we don't have a garden, especially we have so many big blocks, but they have a protective garden in the each like a apartments. So it's
Mm.
like with the fences, with the security. So the cats secured there because of the cars and the traffic and the dogs, because we have street dogs too. And so the people are taking care of them. When they get sick, they are trying to put money on the cat and collect like a foundation or something like this.
Mhm.
And of
Mhm.
course, this is the point that we are making a little bit discount, because otherwise they can't afford the normal um, like normal payment of the normal charge, I mean. So we are trying to help them, but it's also the question in the veterinary chamber what we have to do, because the normally the government has to take care of the cat, but it's a huge amount, and the people are feeding them, they are growing, and the breeding as hell. So some of them, they are getting to our clinic, and we are castrating or make a nutrate them and put it in the street back. So but people are taking care of them. It's such a good. So I can say the quarter of my business is going on the street cats too, because I have cages in my clinic and full of street cats, not any domestic. I'm not domestic cat. I mean the owner cat is in the clinic now, for example.
That sort of raises sort of the question of workload. When you look at your day-to-day workload, is it sort of 50% cats, 50% dogs, or that more cats at your clinic, or?
I think my clinic is mostly the cat medicine. Like I can say maybe 70, 60% cats, mostly. Yeah. Because the people are living in an apartment, so they don't have such a big dogs. They have Goldens and Labradors, yes, but they have small dogs. We have a huge population of the Pomerian and, very popular poodles. We have Yorkshire Terriers, but I think it's a popularity now from they are seeing in the Instagram or TikTok or something like this. The people wants to buy that such a small dogs because they can carry them when they are traveling. So
How is that with brachiocephalic breeds? So, say French bulldogs, pugs, are they also very popular in Turkey?
yeah, pugs, they are very popular, but not as much as the poodles and the Pomerian and the small Spitz breeds. But we have pugs, and I have clients too. Uh, but as long as the breeding trading is still going on, the people are seeing them and thinking that they are adorable and they want to buy. Yes.
Um, I mean, thinking about dogs with brachiocephalic anatomical features, uh, in a city like Istanbul that gets really hot in the summer, that
Yes,
must be
that's true.
quite difficult. Do you have a lot of dogs that get brought in with heat stroke in the summer, or with that are struggling to because of their constricted airways in the
Mhm.
summer months? Is that an issue?
Actually, I don't have any cases about this.
Mhm.
Maybe because we don't have so much French bulldogs and maybe English bulldogs, because in my clinic I just have the pugs, and yeah, but they are not going with them to so many places because of the heat in the summer.
They probably also will have quite a bit of air conditioning where they keep
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dogs probably
that's
during
true.
the worst time of the day indoors.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. With the cats, what I was wondering is vaccinations. Sort of, what do you tend to vaccinate against in Istanbul? Feline diseases.
Yeah, so we have seen a lot of panleukopenia, and I mean a lot. Like I can say the quarter of my patient from the street, I'm seeing a lot of panleukopenia, herpes virus, and calicivirus. I mean huge. In my clinic now, I have 3 patients with calicivirus and the mouth and ulceration and the very bad pain in their mouth. We have seen a lot of FIP, feline infectious peritonitis, a lot because of the street cats. They are outside, they are spreading the virus like hell. So when the people are making adoption from the street, they don't know the heritage or if they sick or not. After 10 or 5 days later, maybe months later, they are getting sick and they have this disease because mostly our patients are FIP, feline infectious peritonitis, the coronavirus, I mean.
How is that with retrovirus diseases? So feline leukemia virus, feline immunodeficiency virus, do they play a role?
That's a good question because actually I'm not seeing that so much. We have a lot of panleukopenia, but I'm not seeing any leukemia or like FIV. I can say this, for example, 10 patient, if I have a 10 patients from the street, I'm just seeing maybe one time FIV patient like. But panleukopenia and FIP, that's a huge amount, huge.
How do you organize these tests when you do any blood tests? Obviously, the range of blood tests you probably can do indoor. I mean, there are SNAP tests, for example, for FIV and FELV, or also
Yeah.
feline coronavirus. Although obviously that's not the whole story.
Yeah.
If you send samples off. How long does it take, and are they examined in Istanbul, or where do you send your lab samples, your blood samples?
So we have a very qualified veterinary laboratory in Istanbul, which is very good. But basically, the people wants the solution very fast. So I'm using a snap test, very quick answer for if I saw some oral lesion in their mouth. So I'm recommended the snap test for the leukemia and FIV. So if I'm seeing any suspicion, I'm sending the lab. For FIP, I mean the feline coronavirus, we have an immunocomp. It's a ELISA test. So it takes like 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes to make it. So I can say the client, so this cat has a coronavirus, but it doesn't mean FIP. But for the symptoms, I can say. And so the people, of course, for the ELISA test, is costs a lot of money, but the people are saying okay because the snap test is more cheap, but it's not saying it's the disease actually, yes or no, just a suspicion.
Yeah. Talking about money, I would assume, I don't know, pet insurance. Do you have that in Turkey?
Yeah, that's a good question because pet insurance companies is not good working in Turkey.
But you have some, yeah?
We have one company, but there's always changing the main company. We have a pet insurance, but it's not including the in medicine cost or just the sudden emergency uh, kind of sort of
Limited
thing.
cover, really, then, yeah.
Yeah. For example, for the cats, what can they have just falling down in the very high apartment? Just it's covering, but for the dogs, maybe more useful for the emergency car accidents or swallow a big foreign body, something like this. So the people, I can say just 5% of my client making the insurance. I can say this.
Yeah. I mean, I found that this is something, I mean, obviously we have that already very well established in the UK and also in Scandinavia. I just sort of follow it a little bit more now in the German-speaking countries, and it is becoming definitely also more now in Central Europe. And I mean, this eventually filters through. So this understanding that there are certain events you insure you against
Yeah.
yourself against, and one are sort of high veterinary bills. And yeah, I think this is becoming more and more commonplace because I mean also the expectations of clients are
Yeah.
increasing all the time.
Because they have to work on it, because I don't understand the insurance style, but they have to work in Turkey about this because it's a big thinking that they have to, you know, sort of uh, thinking about this. I think in Turkey they have to think like in the US, but it's not the same because it's a different country, so different laws, everything is different.
How is it with vector-borne diseases, parasite diseases? What are probably the most commonly encountered diseases you would have in Istanbul?
Yeah, because where I live and in my clinic is a very like a apartment style, so we don't have so much green and trees, and we are stuck in the blocks. So of course, this kind of diseases mostly in the outside of the Istanbul we have a lot, because I'm speaking with my friends and they are shocked that why we don't have this so much vector-borne disease. For example, like I didn't see any Alicia or like any other kind of anaplasma or something like this, like 2 years. I just saw a dog 2 years ago. So, but my other colleagues, which is close to the Bosphorus, and they are seeing a lot. But in my area, in the dogs, I never saw because I think because of they are not going for a walk, because all the family dogs, I mean apartment dogs they have. I'm asking my clients, are you going for a walk with the dogs? And they said, no, it's just pee in the apartment. What? Why you are not going outside? Oh, it's so cold. It's not so cold in Istanbul. Or they are just so lazy to
Well,
go.
it's also, I mean, yes, I would assume, especially if you have very small dogs, you possibly might have to keep a close eye on them in case of street dogs or something like that,
That's
that
true.
they might be territorial and they might consider a small dog as a potential problem, possibly also as
That's true.
considered as food or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they
Get
have a lot
brain,
of,
and it doesn't
yeah.
take very much to kill that.
Yeah, one of my clients, they were in Izmir, and the street dogs attacked the small dog. Of course, they are terrified. Yeah, there's something happened.
COVID, how
Uh,
has that affected yourself, your practice, and then also generally sort of what do you hear from your colleagues? How have the veterinary colleagues in Turkey dealt with it?
okay, so I would like to show you what we did in the pandemic. We are using the face shields
Yeah,
when we are working. Really, I
yeah.
did this. Really, in the pandemic, I was working like this. We are put the clients outside for waiting because now I'm doing this too, of course, still, because I am putting to like a big paper. I put on my
Yeah,
door.
entrance door.
Please,
Don't come in.
please, no, please, if you saw a patient inside, please wait outside.
So one only at a time.
Yeah, one only at a time, but still they are like, but now I put another big, because I would like to show you this big thing. like this, show this.
Okay. Oh,
So
yes.
it's a very big sign. After
Yeah.
this, the people
Yeah.
are really stop.
Okay.
And they are
Yeah, it's
waiting for
sometimes
us.
little things, so you have a clear sign and somehow people overlook it. On the other hand, if you have a, I don't know, a yellow tape or
Yeah,
something like that across the door, they think, oh, wait a moment, so there's
that's true.
something, what's going on here?
That's
Also,
true.
it's funny that there are little things that you have a little post outside
Hmm.
that says exactly the same thing that was on the
Hmm.
sign,
Hmm.
sometimes makes huge difference.
Yeah.
How
So
have you, has that affected your team so far? Have you had anybody sort of falling ill with COVID or having to self-isolate or
mhm.
something like that?
So we unfortunately we don't have any something like this. So which is so good. We are trying to protect us, but who knows where we'll get this. So, but still, of course, we don't have any cases. Uh, but somehow I'm hearing about my clients that they have the COVID in the past, but still we don't have any.
Mm. Mm.
But for the what we did in the COVID, I would like to mention too. In the pandemic, I mean, it started on the March in Istanbul, 2020, and we are making all the clinics. It's like a not like a rule, but we are making the working hours less. We work till, for example, my clinic work like 11 to 6 p.m. But we were full busy. I mean, I don't know. We were so busy because maybe the people are staying at home and taking much more care about their cats and dogs. So they are calling us, please, we are coming, and they are coming for vaccination too, not just for emergency, because we will write for the pandemic. We are just taking the emergency like this, of course. But the people would like to come because maybe they get bored after the months, something like this. But I can tell you, other my colleagues, they are busy too.
Mm. Yeah. How is it with the online consultations? Is there something like that also being offered or looked into in Turkey?
So I'm using a lot of Instagram, a lot of YouTube. So YouTube channel, I'm doing. They are of course trying to write to me the symptoms, give me a solution, because I am putting like a kind of a very interesting, uh, like for example, Wobbler syndrome in kittens or vestibular syndrome in cats or something like this. So the people are calling me, as you said, can you help my dogs? I'm living in the outside of Istanbul. What should I do? I said, I can't do anything because you have to go to the vet. And if you are watching it, it means that you have to go to the vet. It's just the video.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but the clients are writing on an Instagram, what should I do? My dogs is vomit now, or bloody diarrhea or something like that. What should I do?
But with your own clients, I mean, there might be clients that are registered to your clinic that find it difficult or they're afraid to go out of their flat with their cat or so, that you do say WhatsApp real life consultation or something like that.
I didn't do any kind of thing because if it is emergency and I
Yeah,
we are writing a
obviously
paper.
emergency if they suddenly have collapsed or so, then yeah, without questions. But it's sometimes so that, I mean, some practices we explored that in the UK, and it's also now becoming more popular in the German speaking sort of countries, that they have a sort of online triage services. So
Really?
Yeah, where they have providers, which if there is if the owner is not quite sure, well, is it something I have to go to the veterinary surgeon with or not? They can phone one of these services, and then a veterinary surgeon is advising them and says, "Oh my God, yes, this sort of blown up German Shepherd, you go to the nearest vet now." Or if it is something else, we'll think, no, 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 don't worry. That's a very physiological thing. I don't. It's surprising. I had every year sort of. I'm seeing quite a few clients that are concerned that something is wrong with their female cat when they come in.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I was in Germany in the Sylvester, I can say, I think in the Christmas
Yeah.
time, and one of my clients calling me, it was like almost like a 12 o'clock. Oh, my cat is something epilepsy or something going on. It's not epilepsy, it's just a heat. Okay, some sort of things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's quite good. We noticed also that the ownership of dogs seems to have increased considerably during the COVID pandemic. Is that something you noticed in Turkey as well?
Yeah, in the pandemic season, because I'm making a lot of adoptions from the street cats, and we are adopt a lot of cats, and I can see a lot of clients are coming to our clinic and they adopt a dog or buy a dog and come to the clinic because they were never thinking about this, but now they are home office, and now more they are thinking that they can more taking care of their pets at home. So yeah, I can say in Turkey is the same.
Was so interesting speaking to you, Gizem. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I can show my cat too, maybe.
Oh yes, who is there with you? Who is your little assistant there? All right. Is it a boy or girl?
Boy, Tommy.
Tommy. Oh,
Yeah, my paralyzed cat.
Yes, yeah.
It was really nice to speak with you. It's nice to see you also.
Likewise. So I just hope that at some point in the near future we are able to meet again. And
yes,
I hope that I can continue my love affair with Istanbul, sort of to visit soon again.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Always such a magical place to go.
Yeah,
to.
I would like to.
I'm really envious. I know Istanbul might not have really good skiing opportunities, but there's so many other great things you can do over there.
Yeah, that's true.
If you enjoyed this episode of Fekava Vet Chat, or you would like to comment on it, then please do so. Our email address is vetchat@fekava.org. You can also use our social media platforms, our website, and especially Facebook, if you would like to comment. We're always interested to hear from you. Also, if you have any suggestions for future episodes of Fekava Vet Chat. So thank you very much once again, Gizem, Taktak, Bruhn, and good evening and a good night.
Bye-bye. It was
Bye-bye.
nice to talk with you too. Bye.